Today on Midlife Conversations, I've got one of my really good friends, Amanda Tress, and she is the founder of Faster Way to Fat Loss. And I'm not interviewing her about fat loss today. So if you're waiting for that, that's not what we're doing today. I want to interview her about her business brain because she is one of the smartest women I know. Her business, I use her as an example with business clients on when they're trying to scale their business or get to the next level. I say, what would Amanda do? What would Amanda say? What would she do? I mean, what your company, Amanda, it's like, am I even off on numbers? Is it like 200 million or what is your company volume even right now?
Yeah, we've surpassed the 200 million
Oh
mark.
gosh.
So we've had a really exciting growth trajectory I'll just kind of dive in if you're okay with it. In 2016, I started the Faster Way to Fat Loss with only 11 clients. By 2017, we did about a million in sales, 2018, 12 mil, 2019, 34. And
Whoa.
then by 2020, we were poised and ready to go for the pandemic. So we were, able to serve people who needed at-home fitness, and we've been able to grow quite quickly since then. Right now, we're in a season where we want to grow only 25% this year because at a certain life cycle or kind of stage your
Mhm.
business, you're not trying to have hockey stick growth. You want to manage growth. But the goal is to have $1 billion valuation and be the next big company in the nutrition and fitness category, because frankly, I believe that we have the best programming in the market. And as a CEO, I bring more integrity to the space, the category, the industry than anyone else I know in this particular business. So, we're excited
So
about
she's
the
a
future.
badass. So basically she's a badass. Okay, no, wait, let me add to this for a minute. Let me just toot her horn for a second. Okay. First of all, are you even like 35? How old are you right now?
I
Oh,
am
okay,
37.
she's
Yes.
37, but hold on. Before you guys shut this out, you have to hear this. Okay, she's 37. She has five kids. Not one, not two, not three, not five kids. One's a toddler. Okay, she has five kids all under the age of how old are your kids?
12. Yeah. 12,
Okay.
10, 6, 3, 1.
Okay, she's married to like her high school sweetheart, or her elementary school sweetheart. She's like,
Yeah.
you're not
Yeah.
even human. Okay, so she's married to her elementary school sweetheart. She's got five kids. She's running a multi-gazillion dollar business. Okay, she's got so much integrity. Oh, wait, hold on. I'm leaving parts out. She also, in her spare time, opened and started a church. Like, what? I mean, she's amazing. Okay. I toot her horn all the time. So the reason I wanted to have her on the show is this person, my friend Amanda, has really just nailed life. And not only does she do this through serving and helping other people, she does this with such smart business savvy and such a giving person. She's not competitive. She is a giver. I could ask her any question. She never once ever says, I don't have the answer. Like she will answer my question. She doesn't think competitive wise. So I really wanted to have her on because even though she is not herself quite in midlife yet, she has been the example that I've used with so many midlife women on creating a vision that you want. She's also housed, coached, helped, created millionaires with many midlife women. And we're going to talk a little bit about that today. So that's why we have her here today. So thank you, Amanda, for always talking with me and my audience.
Thank you, Natalie. And I'm not nearly as awesome as Natalie said. So I'm like blushing. Natalie, I want to acknowledge you for being such an amazing friend and supporter. I know I can always go to you for any encouragement. We often are commiserating over business woes or health and wellness challenges. So thank you for being a great friend.
But I want to back up for a minute here because like how does one become on the like I think of my college boyfriend is actually a billionaire. It's the only billionaire I know right now. Okay. So he's actually a billionaire. But I think back to how he was in college and he didn't talk about being a billionaire. He didn't say I'm going to be. He was very smart. He was very methodical and things. I'm so curious with you because you are on that trajectory. Like that's what you're going to create. I already know it. Um, just remember that I'm your friend when you do, because I want to go to your
Always,
island with you.
always.
But how does that, I want to like rewind your brain a little bit. Like, did you always know you were going to do this? Like, how did you even become that in that space?
Yeah, that's a great question. And I've received it a couple of times. When I was in high school, I did have an inclination that I would manage significant wealth at some point in the
Mhm.
future. And I can't explain it beyond just saying, I think God kind of gave me this revelation that I would manage significant wealth. And in high school, my husband and I started listening to Dave Ramsey cassette tapes. I remember
Okay.
thinking like, we need to learn now how to manage money. And we're like
For when you have it.
17,
Hmm.
literally. And it's funny because at the time I was watching my oldest sister go bankrupt. So my
Mm.
oldest sister was going bankrupt. I'm watching kind of other financial issues take place. And I'm literally like, yeah, I'm going to manage significant income. So I better listen to Dave Ramsey. Like, makes no sense. I'm working at gyms. I'm literally spending more money in gas money,
Okay.
to get to the gym than I'm making. But I just had this inclination. Brandon became an accountant through college. And I remember one of my very first jobs after college, I told my boss, who I'm still good friends with to this day, I said, I'm going to be a millionaire by 30 and a multimillionaire by 34. And I actually named my retirement account when I was 21,
Wow.
retire by 34. And it's just
Wow.
funny, but it's like, if you have this inclination or this decision or plan, then it kind of creates a different decision making matrix. So when I'm 21, the books that I'm buying at Barnes and Nobles are Millionaire by 30 and Rich Dad Poor
Mhm.
Dad. So I was just educating myself. We're on the weekends getting together with friends and playing the Rich Dad Poor Dad cash flow game. Like that's just what we
Yeah.
were doing. And I didn't know how. And the best thing that ever happened to me was when I told my boss when I'm like literally 21, 22 that I was going to be a millionaire by 30. He goes, okay, great. How? And I was
Hmm.
like, oh, wow, no one's ever asked me that. I guess I better start figuring out. And at the time, I was a trainer, really passionate about fitness. I had also kind of stepped into digital marketing in my career. I'm like, fresh out of college. But over time, it's just, I continued to have this vision of like, I'm going to manage significant income and I'm going to be able to then recirculate that wealth to my
Hmm.
family, my church and community. And through the years, I continued to kind of refine that vision. But for me, a turning point moment was when I lived in Ohio. I launched a digital marketing agency serving women in wellness because I understood digital marketing and I was watching fellow personal trainers be taken advantage of by agencies who would charge
Hmm.
them like 10 grand to build a website and 20
Yeah.
grand to manage social media. I'm like, no, like I'll build you a website for $500, empower you to do social media marketing. But I remember I was doing laps in my pool and it just clicked for me. Like God just gave me a very clear vision and a very specific even kind of sentence around what my purpose was, and it was to eradicate poverty for women in wellness. and
Wow.
and I it was the weirdest thing. I'm doing laps in my pool. I still remember it clear as day. And I was like, that is my purpose. That is why I'm here on this earth, is to eradicate poverty for women in wellness. Because at the time, the average trainer made $24,000 annually, which is not enough to
Yeah.
put food on the table. And I had an additional kind of vision is to empower women in wellness to recirculate their wealth to their family, their church, and community. And that is the most
Mm.
important way to solve problems in the world. Like that, I'm like literally in my middle
Yeah.
20s and
I
I'm
just got
just
chills with
so
you
clear.
saying that too. Like it's so unfortunately rare when you hear someone's why to bring it back to that. Like the fact that you're saying like family, church, and community just makes me like you that much more. Like I believe that's part of why you've done so well. It's not about, I want to do this so I can have 10 houses, so I can do, you weren't even thinking about that. You said my family, church, and community.
Right. Right. And women will recirculate 90% of their wealth. Men will only recirculate 10%. It's not my opinion. It's just a fact. But I just remember being so crystal clear and the joy I had because I now understood my purpose on earth. And
Hmm.
since I've just been completely undistractable. And now it's just, as I think about the future of Faster Way, it's just that $1 billion word keeps coming up. $1 billion
Yeah.
brand, $1 billion valuation. I see my current kindergartner, she's 6, as being the next CEO, once I'm ready to
Hmm.
pass the baton. So for me, it's the legacy business. It's the next Weight Watchers. It's getting into the households of millions and millions of people because women deserve to feel and look their best. So I'm just, fully focused on it. I'm not worried about it. I'm just like, okay,
It's
let's
just a
go.
knowing. So let me
Yeah.
ask you this. When you had this, because there was a time where you were the trainer and you weren't making a lot of money and you had this vision, did you have to start acting different? Like, did you operate different? And the reason I'm asking that is a lot of people listening, they would love something new for themselves, something different, but I feel that they operate from scarcity, they operate from their current circumstances. How did you navigate that? Because you had some real circumstances at one point. You didn't have a lot of money. You didn't have all the access to the stuff you have now.
Yeah. 12 years ago, I was making $32,500 a year, working full time in web marketing and ramping up my training business. I was training at lunchtime every evening, every weekend. I had a baby. I regret it. I barely saw Emma, my
Mm.
oldest, from the time she was 0 to 2. It was, really tough time. But I heard from a mentor who gave me really fantastic advice. He said, if you really want to have a big business, you got to start acting like you have a $300,000 business, not a $32,000 500 business. I'm like,
Yeah.
wow, that's so true. And that prompted me, even at $32,500, to hire an assistant. I literally hired an assistant. I produced a DVD. I paid like $250 total to produce this DVD, hired an assistant to help me with marketing and shipping and all this stuff. And I didn't even hardly have the money to do it. I'm like, I have to start acting like I have a bigger company and start
Yeah.
delegating and doing the things that someone with a more successful business does, because you can have control or you can have both, but you can't have both, or you can have control or you can have growth, but you can't have both. So yeah, I mean, that was like way back then.
Okay, so if I'm hearing you correctly, I'm like pulling out these nuggets here because this is good. So you definitely started acting as if, you definitely started saying, okay, I'm going to act as if I'm a different version of myself. You were coachable, you listened to this advice, you started delegating. How did you avoid the scarcity mindset around that of going, I don't actually have money to pay somebody? Like, how did you do that? And what was the conversation with your husband at the time?
Yeah, I am very blessed in that Brandon had a pretty steady job. So I'm not going to like over dramatize it. He had a really steady job working with the Air Force. And so he was very supportive of me kind of, taking some risks and
Mhm.
following my dreams, but also he was confident as he saw the income continue to build. Like it
Sure.
was easy. He does all the accounting, for us. So it's easy to look at the spreadsheet and see like, okay, Amanda's investing this, but now the next month we're going from that to here.
Okay.
So I'm not going to over dramatize it. Scarcity is just not something that I've ever struggled with. I
Okay.
don't know why. I'm not sure what it is about me. I think some of it is, just the comfort that God has given me managing income. One of my team members says, she's like, I've never met someone who like allows money to kind of flow through her like you do. Like it comes in, but then it's like, she's like, you kind of like accept it. And then it's just, I don't know. I can't explain it. I can't
Mhm.
put words to it, but I've never had a scarcity mentality. And so I don't know. I wish I had a good answer for you.
Yeah,
It's
no,
just,
that's actually is a good answer because I think money is, to me, it is energy, it is flow. It's like I always say, it's just monopoly money. Like we all can have a number that's in the bank, but do we really know it's there? Like it doesn't have to, like it's really literally monopoly money until we need it or using it. So why not imagine that you have a lot or not worry about it or focus on that? And I know that maybe sounds easier than some people are thinking it is to apply, but you can start doing that on smaller levels and it does work. Like I know my husband and I argue about this all the time because he always asks me, what's your budget for something? And I hate that question. I'm like, what do you mean? I don't have a budget. I want what I want and I'll create and generate to fix, to make that work. Like that's just
yeah.
how I operate and think. But I think to me, I'm not saying a budget's not smart, but it is a limiter. Like some of the words that we use, some of the things that we say, where if you just instead think of I'm going to create it or it's going to come or I'm going to generate it, like those are just more powerful to me than
Yeah.
limiting it.
Yeah.
Just my thought. So when you started your business and you started doing this and you've gone through many different versions of yourself in business, like you've gone through I work for somebody, I make 30,000 a year, these different layers. What have you learned about scaling and who you've had to become as you've evolved up this ladder?
Yeah. I think first and foremost, I've learned that the growth of the faster way or the growth of my business is directly correlated to my own personal growth. So
Ooh,
I am the primary bottleneck, or I am the primary reason that we can grow and scale, which is freeing, because instead of me trying to blame outside circumstances or blame people on my team, I'm like, no, it's actually me. The
wow.
problem starts and ends with me. I learned that from a mentor who was extremely hard on me. I'm not friends with him
Oh,
now
wow.
because he was so mean to me, but I needed it in this season. I'd get on calls. He happens to be a billionaire, and I'd be like, this is happening and this is, and he's like, okay, so what's the actual problem? I'm like, the problem is my HR person brought in this person who did this. He goes, no, what's the actual problem? I'm like, the problem is that this thing happened on that. He goes, no, what's the actual, he goes, you're the problem.
Whoa.
You allowed, he goes, first and foremost, you hired your HR person. So don't tell me that every problem starts and ends in your HR department. He's like, the problem is you allowed this to happen
So
because of
extreme
XYZ. So
accountability, extreme accountability.
extreme, extreme accountability. I mean, I would leave these calls feeling like garbage, but I tell you what, I wasn't making the same mistake twice. I wasn't making
See,
that
man,
mistake
I'm
again.
making a list here. My secret I haven't told you is I'm going to write a book about you. No, I'm just kidding. I'm making I'm unwinding like what makes Amanda acting as if coachable, delegating money flows, her why, and accountable so far. I'm building a list for you, so you'll have an easy
I
book
love
after this.
that. Oh my
No,
gosh, you're so cute. Yeah, extreme accountability. So, anything that I perceive as a problem, like even today, I was just reflecting on this narrative that I continue to tell myself. And I just realized like I have to rewrite the story. And that's the only way to solve the problem. I'm like, it starts with me. I rewrite the story, and that's how I will be able to overcome the challenge that's in front of me. So yeah, I've had some, really
yeah.
great mentors in my life, and I've gone through enough challenges, like big major obstacles, that I think I've been able to learn a lot and fail forward.
When you said family, church, and community, and I know that you have this belief that money grows and you are very generous, did you donate generosity? Did you give it when you felt like you didn't have it too? Were you always that way, or did you wait till you had a certain amount?
Um, I think Brandon and I have been in a pattern from very young of managing money well and also being generous with our money. So yeah, it started pretty young. We were always like just slightly ahead of our peers, but at the same time, like, kind of doing little things anonymously or giving to
Mhm.
charities, even when it didn't seem like it made a whole lot of sense. Or like when it comes to giving, I don't use like the 10% rule. I use my gut.
Like what
Like,
you feel. Yeah.
yeah, I'm like, this is an amazing cause. I really want a church close to the house so that my kids can grow and become amazing people, through this church and through the ministry. And so, I'll just be like, here's my gut. This is the check. This is what we do. Like, I'm
Yep.
not going to do all the math to see if that's 10% or more or less. Like, here's the number.
What
And
I feel
that's kind
called to
of,
do.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And that has served us really well. And yeah, there's just if I hear of a need, I like I know that I can solve it many times with
Mhm.
money and with finances. So I like to do things anonymously these days. But yeah,
I love that
I'm
you
like,
just said that, by the way, because I cannot stand when people look at money as the root of evil, because it's not the root of evil. And the more money you have, the more you actually can help people, the more you can better people's lives and you can do good in the world. So I'm a
right.
huge fan of that. And I love that you said that. The thing that about you, aside from generosity with that, that you have done extremely well is you're generous with your knowledge, your information, with collaborative stuff. I will share that some of you that have been following my journey for a while, a few years ago, when I was having my own personal setback health wise, like I didn't know what was going on with me. I gained weight. I was like a lot of stuff going on. I didn't feel an integrity teaching fat loss and fitness anymore. I was like, I got to stop this. This isn't working. I was getting injured. I had all these things going on. So I paused, and Amanda reached out to me and she said, "Hey, I know you're pausing right now. Let me help you. Like, let's make a win-win." And many of you remembered, I referred all of my clients. Like I put it out there like, "Hey, I'm pausing my stuff. If you want to go, I trust Amanda. I trust her programs. Like go over to Faster Way." I did that. And then, you were the one that said, I was like ready to like close shop. And you said, "Do not close shop. Do this right now. you don't know what you're going to want to do in a year or come back. You are the one that
Mhm.
told me that.
Yeah.
So exactly what happened. Like I referred people there and I took care of myself, got back, and then I came back stronger than ever with my own fat loss stuff.
Yes.
But you're the one that actually said to me, do not, I was like ready to shut down it all. Like, here's the list. You said, don't do that. You're very
Yeah.
generous like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I think
Yeah.
you look out for the best interest of other people.
Absolutely. It should always be what's the highest and best good for you. And anytime I consult with especially female colleagues, I'm like, what is the highest and best good for you? Heidi, Natalie, JJ, whoever it is, like you always have to put
Mhm.
yourself first. And I will be the first one to really push you to do that.
Mhm. Talk to me about what happens with coaches within your system, because you could have stopped it like, I'm just going to help people with fat loss and fitness, like in that. But what you saw was a bigger vision. I want to help you. I want to eradicate poverty for women and wellness. So you saw
Yeah.
a better opportunity to help create people. A lot of midlife women specifically are doing this for you
Mhm.
to help
Yeah.
them become a coach. Where did that idea come from? And how has that changed you? How has it changed some of the women that are doing this for you and even men doing this for you?
Yeah. Yeah, so in 2016, I started the Faster Way to Fat Loss as a beta program, and quickly we started getting traction. So it would have been easy for me to say, I'm going to, me, myself, and I grow this brand, grow this program, and just, sweep all the money for myself. But at the time, I was running a digital marketing agency for women in wellness,
Mhm.
and I was helping other female entrepreneurs with websites, sales funnels, online programs, and my clients were seeing success getting customers into their programs, but their customers weren't necessarily having amazing results. So I was like, okay, let me solve a problem for my agency clients who are not fantastic with fat loss programming. Let me build a certification around my program, the Faster Way to Fat Loss, and then tell my agency clients that
Mhm.
they can become certified to run my program with their own book of clients. So when I created the Faster Way certification, and told my agency clients, hey, you can become coaches for the Faster Way. I think we had like a 90%, 90% of my agency clients are like,
Mhm.
yep, sign me up. We trust you. We know that you want highest and best good for us. So we very quickly got off the ground. I think like the weekend that I launched the certification,
Wow.
we immediately had 80 people in the cert because they were just all my agency clients. And I looked at network marketing business models. I looked at franchise business models. I looked at affiliate business models. And I said, let me pick all of the best pieces from each
Mhm.
of these models and create what I believe to be the very best model in the marketplace. Faster Ways is similar to a digital franchise model, but we're technically and legally an affiliate model, but we have a lot of benefits that people would see in a network marketing or direct selling type model. And so we are extremely generous with coaches. We give 50% commission on every sale,
Mhm.
but then we also say, here's a turnkey business. Here
Yeah.
is the workout programming. We do 365 workouts per year. Actually, it's double now because we do a men's version and a female version. We have weekly meal plans, monthly challenges, great support. We do customer support on our end. And so, it's been really exciting to watch my coaches absolutely thrive. We have multiple coaches in what we call the Millionaire Club. So,
Yeah, you do. It's
yeah,
like,
so that's really
so
exciting.
I've spoken at her conference a few times, and what I've always told, I'm like, I just love what you've curated because it's like this fun. It feels like that network marketing vibe without the feeling bad about yourself part. Like I feel like a network marketing company. Let me explain. And I'm a fan of network marketing too. But when you go to network marketing conferences, you've got like the superstars and you got the people that are like feeling like a loser. Like literally, it's like this big divide. And I didn't get that vibe at yours. I felt like yours is a funner, like team camaraderie, like everyone's helping
Yes.
each other. It's just, it has
Yeah.
a different vibe to it.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. My community is the most passionate, professional, unified community in the nutrition and fitness category, hands down. You and I shared this on the podcast that you were on of mine, but I saw you from afar at the NASM conference, like in LA. I mean, several years ago, and I'm speaking there. NASM, yeah, I'm not going to call it out, but listen, the the certifications that I was part of, those communities, they are competitive. They're
Yeah.
not unified. And plus they don't give you a business in a box. They're just like,
No.
hey, get the cert, pay for the cert, and good luck. And so I'm like, let me look at certification companies, network marketing companies, franchise affiliate, and just create the very best models so that I can genuinely empower women and men to earn significant income.
Yes. So, okay, I want to talk to you about, I have so many more questions for you, but I also want to talk to you about what your thoughts are in general on somebody starting a fitness business from scratch or come. And I want you to put like your friend hat on for a minute versus like your business hat. Just like seriously, if you, because I think if I was talking to a friend that from scratch wanted to start a fitness or nutrition business, even though I did that, I would be more inclined to put them in a system that's like your own little franchise or something that you can model. But can you talk to us about that? I know it's hard to like separate it from what you actually do, but I just could you've worked with both. You've worked with clients that
Yeah.
had their own thing versus doing this.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I spoke on stage yesterday at a conference, and the three people that were on hot seats before I went up to keynote were trying to ramp up their own health and wellness
Mhm.
brand. And it's really hard. That's what I
Mhm.
helped people do through my agency for years. It's a slog because you have to create a website, do all the backend technology, find a CRM, do the actual programming, film yourself, do the one-on-one content. Like it's you, yourself, and it's like,
Yeah,
it's really difficult. And because of the slog that I know it is, and the pain that I went through trying to do it on my own, that, and what I saw my agency clients go through, that's what kind of helped me create what is the Faster Way certification and coaching program. But yeah, I mean, if you are listening and you're highly entrepreneurial, Natalie and I can't tell you how hard it's going to be. So I would just try it and then call me in a year. Just
Mm,
just try it. Because what I really love, Natalie, I'm just going to be completely honest. I love it when people come to me who have tried to ramp up their own brand, and they've like grinded on social media. They've marketed their little heart out. They've done all the back end stuff. They've invested all this money. They've gotten their 10 clients in the door after a year. And then they call
yeah.
me. That's what I love, because they appreciate what I
They've
offer
already
so
been
much
beat
more.
up. Yeah.
Rising tides lift all ships, and the power of network effect is so substantial. That's what people don't understand. If you are out there on your own with a little brand, and Natalie, you've done an extremely good job building up a following, millions and millions of followers. You are just incredible with selling and social media. So you've done it, and we have many other people in our circles who have done it. But if you are just starting out in 2024,
It's hard.
to latch on to a brand that's growing like Faster Way, and we're the fastest growing nutrition and fitness,
Mhm.
digital nutrition fitness company in the country, like latching onto that, there's so much benefit to that, because then your
Makes sense.
neighbor might be like, oh yeah, I've heard of Faster Way. Oh, you're a Faster Way coach now? Oh, great. I saw it on Instagram. Like that, there's value to that, big
Yeah.
value to that.
Yeah. Amanda, what makes you tick? Like seriously, like I mean, I know you said I have this why, you've got the family, you've got all the things. I mean, what is your like if I could I want to like undo your DNA and understand like
Yeah.
what makes you like is your family entrepreneurs? Were they this successful? It's you I don't think you realize how special it is what you've created or your knowledge on how you've built something so young and with all the things you've got going on.
Yeah, my dad is entrepreneurial. He was the principal of my Christian school for my whole life until senior year of high school. And then my husband's mom took over the principal job.
You keep
And
it
my
really in
dad
the
left.
family, like everything.
My dad left to start a company, his little fundraiser company called Race for Education. So I saw him be entrepreneurial, but I've been entrepreneurial since my freshman year of college. That's when I started my fitness
Mm,
business. What makes me tick? It's a great question. I just had a candidate in my office, someone who's wanting to be part of my executive team, and he's like, what are your plans? What's your 5-year plan? He was waiting for me to say, like, I'm going to market to sell this thing and make $1 billion to sit on the beach. And I'm like, here's the deal. I have no plans to sell. Private equity would ruin the culture at Faster Way and wouldn't take this thing to where I know it should be, which is the next Weight Watchers. I'm like, I genuinely believe that I was placed on this earth for a purpose, and I am so undistractable. I shared recently an illustration about David and Goliath. Everybody's heard the story of David and Goliath, but what many people don't see is that in the scripture, in the passage where David is about to go fight Goliath, his brother Eliab comes up to him and says, David, what are you doing here? Who did you leave your few sheep with in the wilderness? I know why you're here. You're just here for entertainment, blah, blah, blah. Like, he tried to distract David, and David had a choice. He could have become very distracted because his big brother is ragging on him in the middle of this whole
Mm-hmm.
war. And instead of becoming distracted and fighting with Eliab, he turned, the Bible says he turned away and continued on toward Goliath. And so I tell my team all the time, I say, listen, we might be small, but we are mighty. And our Goliath is the Ozempic effect. Our Goliath is big pharma. Our Goliath is the food industry. Our Goliath is cancer, obesity, disease. And
Wow.
so it's just, I genuinely feel like I am here for a reason on this earth, and shame on me for not leaning into my purpose and giving it 120% and making a massive impact on not just 11, not just 400,000, but millions and millions and millions and millions of
Wow.
people worldwide.
Okay, so here's my biography of Amanda for those of you that want to learn how to be a billionaire too. And then I'm going to give you some other things. This is what I got from this. You have a purpose bigger than you. You turn to your faith. You act as if the future version of yourself, basically. You're coachable, always coachable. You're really good at delegating. You have the attitude that money flows. You're always attached to your why. You are highly accountable and take personal responsibility, and you are very generous.
Oh
That's your
my gosh.
book. That's all your chapters.
You are so awesome. And I just want to add the disclaimer. I am not a billionaire, Natalie. I
No,
planned
you're
to be,
on
but
path to be. I
okay,
said on
okay.
path. You are going to be. You're acting as if. No, she's not
Yeah.
yet, but she will be. I promise you all she
Yeah.
will be. She is
Oh
that
yeah.
next. No, I even said at the beginning, I said, I know one billionaire. That's my ex-boyfriend from college. And you will be the second one I know. You will be the second one I know. No, no question. No,
Love
that's why
it.
I said, remember me when you are, because I want to come to your private islands. Okay, so here's something really cool in the spirit of generosity that Amanda is doing, and I'm a part of it, and that's why I squeezed this podcast in as a bonus because I really was like, you want you all to hear this. She is doing something called a millionaire masterclass. This is really cool. She's interviewed. How many people did you interview for this, Amanda?
At least 7.
At least 7. I'm one of the people. So she wanted
Mhm.
me to talk on social media. Everyone always wants me to talk on social media. I don't like talking about social media, but I did it.
So
I did
funny.
it for
And
you.
sales. You're the
And sales.
sales
Okay.
queen.
So I am one of the guests. She's got 7. Everybody that she invited in has created their own $1 million business, right?
Oh
That's
yeah.
okay.
Multi-million,
And
multi-million. Yeah.
and when she started the interviews for this class, she said, I don't want any fluff. Like, don't tell me about hashtags. Or like, she's like, I want like the legit, what are the things that I do to build a business? Okay. So who this is for? This is for you if you are in fitness wellness, right? You want to be in fitness and wellness. And so
Yep.
if it's, I guess you could listen in if you are not that, but this is ideally for you if you're in fitness and wellness and you've been like struggling or you want to know how to up level your business next level. She's doing this masterclass March 22nd through 23rd. March 22nd through 23rd. Just go to midlifeconversations.com/fitness marketing. So midlifeconversations.com/fitness marketing, and it will redirect to get on there. Thank you so much, Amanda, for being here. And I'll put all this in the show notes too. Thank you for talking with my midlife conversations women, mostly women. I've got some men too. And I know this was a different topic, you all, but I really wanted you to hear because some of the things we talk about with success, like I wanted you to see like the epitome of it. Like it really breaks down that way. So thank you, Amanda.
You're welcome. It was so fun. And I appreciate again just the support that you've been to me and the friendship that we've had. So thanks a lot, Natalie.